What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I'm Craig, and let's get into the charts. Sorry I didn't get to make a video yesterday. As you guys know, we are very busy moving. This weekend is going to be very busy. Probably not going to do a video tomorrow or over the weekend unless I do just a live chat from my phone or something. But regardless, we're going to take a look at what's going on in the charts. We had a big dump in Bitcoin. Is it going to continue? What areas do we need to watch? Also, we're going to look at my old charts from Litecoin, Ethereum, XRP, also BNB. I do think BNB is in massive trouble. Now, in all these charts, we're also going to look at the resistance levels that we need to stay below to stay bearish. And we're going to look at the support levels you need to stay above if it's going to be bullish. So definitely stick around for the whole video. And if that sounds good to you, make sure you take a second out, smash that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it. So far, for the last 2 years, this stuff has been playing out beautifully as we expected, as most of you guys know, my bubble pop pattern. But anyways, let's look at the DXY first. So the DXY, we've been watching this yellow trend lines, right? Falling wedge. We did break above it. Now, as long as we can stay above it, it's actually resting on it right now. As long as we can stay above this, we also have this white trend line here that will pretty much verify this has broken out if we break this white trend line. So let's take a look at the measured moves here. The measured moves from this falling wedge dotted line here, if we take a measured move from the widest point of the wedge to where it has broke, as long as it stays above there, right? Somewhere around the 110 range is that target. We also have a white falling wedge right here, the measured move of that longest point of the wedge. That gets us up to about 115. That will be extremely bearish for Bitcoin if that does happen. Remember, there's always a chance the dollar rolls over, comes back down. You can see here this falling broadening wedge could come back down and retest this. That is a possibility. Not to say that's going to happen, but if we can break above here, get support, that's very bearish for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at where that might take us. So this is the macro Bitcoin. I do believe, see, everybody thinks this was a bubble, this was a bubble. I don't believe so. I think these were just, I guess you could call them bubbles, little mini bubbles within the big bubble. I do think we're still going to see new lows by the end of this year. Possibly could take longer, but doesn't matter if we see new lows. I do think it's going to be between 37 and 9,700. We've been talking about this since December 2nd, 2021. I'll leave a video at the end of the video up top if you want to see that video. Also, the trading competition. Make sure you guys join that if you haven't already. It's a great way to get into trading without putting any risk in. It doesn't cost you anything. I'll explain that later in the video. But as you can see, I do think this is just a huge 5-wave bubble, right? This is just a huge Elliott 5-wave structure with 5 waves within each 5 waves. I do think we have completed B. We're headed down to C between 37 and 9,700. As you guys know, we pointed out the hidden bearish divergence on the white trend lines here. Then we had the bearish divergence, the yellow trend line here. We've also been watching right here on the RSI, this support level for the RSI, which is probably going to line up somewhere with either the 200 EMA at 25.6 or 27.150. But if this line breaks on the RSI and we close a weekly below, you have to close. Remember, RSI follows the body of the candle, not the wick. So you have to wait for close for confirmations. But as you can see here, we drew this red trend line in. And currently, this week's candle is about 28,000. If we break this in this candle, we have much more downside coming, at least down to the 27,150, and then we have 25.6. If that breaks within the coming weeks, it's going to get very ugly. Let's take a look at, now that's a 5-wave count, right? Going to the downside. Let me show you. This was wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4. This would be wave 5 down that we are in now, which is probably going to take some time. Remember, I've been saying bottom in September, October-ish. I still believe that's a very good possibility, although it could go stretch out longer if this is going to be a longer bear trend. Here is another bearish count. And if you want to see the bullish counts, go watch every other channel. Everybody's saying because of the halving. Remember, I said that was all going to change at some point. I think this is the changing point. So this is a 5-wave structure, right? Falling wedge, or you could call this a B, C, D, E. Either way, we have one more touch to the downside before continuing down. Now, if we break up out of this, we do have this resistance at 32.9, which is our last true low. Everybody, this is our last, our first major low from the high, right? So that is super important at 29 or 30. I'm sorry. What is that? 32.9. If we break above that, that will invalidate the last wave count. But even if we went higher, we do have a possible target as high as 38.7. If we get above that range, then I would consider the bear market over. But until then, I still think we have new lows coming for the bear market. You can also see in the MACD right here, we have crossed over to the downside again. And that has been great for calling tops, right? Now let's look at the daily. The daily, same thing, looking at this yellow trend line here. What I wanted to point out in the daily, you can also see on the RSI, there is more room for the downsides. Remember, same thing with the daily. The RSI is not a valid close until the candle closes, because this could go shoot straight up, which I highly doubt, but this could shoot straight up and the RSI would follow it because it follows the body of the candle, not the wick, right? So if this was to break, where is our next? Let me get the RSI off there real quick. So we put the fibs from the swing low to the swing high here, right, on the daily. Our next fib, our 0.236 is about 28,000, 28,010, right in that range. If we do break this fib, you know, we could bounce around here for a little while. We'll have support at the 200 EMA, about 27.2. That breaks. Our next fib is the 0.382 at 256. And then we have the 0.5 fib at 23.6, which will also line up with this trend line. So these are the downsides to look at. Remember, this is a key level. If it breaks 32.9, then I start to look for 32.8. But anything below, as long as we're below this, see it's continuing down. We're going to look at the 4-hour. Then we're going to look at Binance, Ethereum, XRP, and Litecoin in a minute. But before we do, quick word from my sponsor, Prime XBT.
Begin your path to financial freedom. Gain up to a $7,000 bonus on us. Register and use promo code. Deposit and enjoy a 7% bonus. Available now. Link in the description.
All right, so Prime XBT, you can use my promo code SAVVY50. That'll get you up to a $7,000 bonus. SAVVY25 will get you 25% off your fees. Definitely check it out. Like I said, it's a great way to learn. You can join the free Crypto Savvy Savage trading competition. It's right here. As you can see, I'm in it right now. I'm 22nd out of 956 people. You could also view in here on the trades. I've done 38 trades. Like I said, I've been moving, so I do a couple quick ones in the morning or whatever. But this is where I'm at right now. Let's take a look at the trades I have in. So the trades I have in right now, some of them have closed. Still have quite a few in here. They're all shorts, obviously. But you can trade, you know, crypto, Forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, S&P, silver, gold, everything all from this exchange. And you can trade all that in this competition. So if you are interested in it, click in the link down below. Make sure you use my promo codes if you are going to trade with real money. But you can win a $500 first prize, $250 second, and $250 third prize without putting any money in. Great way to learn to use the exchange. All right. So let's take a look at the 4 hours. Same thing. Up at the fibs from the swing low to the swing high. Where'd we get our bounce at our 0.5? So currently, what is the support right here at the 0.5? 28.3. If we break the 28.3, open and close 4 hour below there, our next fib level is going to be all the way down to the 0.618. It's at 27.4, 27.3 to 27.5 range, right in there, right? But we have our measured moves. We're looking at this as a possible 5-wave Elliott wave count. I don't like this right here within it, but if we were still to do that, our wave 3 would be 26.6, and wave 4, it would bounce from there, go back up to 28.70, and then continuation down to 26.1 for a completed 5-wave structure. Probably get that being a wave 1. We would probably get a wave 2 up and then wave 3 down for a continuation, right? But here's our measured moves. If the blue wave count isn't correct, here's the breakdown from the rising channel. And we've had these targets forever here, guys. 27, let's just say 27.6 to be safe here, right? That's your yellow rising channel target. Then we have this white trend line here, rising, broadening, or just a broadening wedge. And the measured move from the widest point of the wedge where it broke down gets us down to about that 27,000. So this is the area I'm looking for a bounce between 27,000, 27,600. But remember, we got to break the 0.5 fib at 28.3 first. Our RSI is getting a little wonky here, getting down pretty low. But as you guys know, RSI can go much lower than that. So just be careful here, guys. I do think we have further down to go. Not to say we won't get bounces in between. Here is FTT compared to Binance. I've been showing this chart for about 7 months now. Told you to watch for a break here. We broke, came back for a retest, and we're going to zoom into this area and see where we're at now. I think Binance is in serious trouble. I still think that. Where does Binance have to go to reclaim this, right? We have to get back above the 236, get inside this channel, and break up from there. Otherwise, as you guys know, the breakdown target from this channel is around 200. Now, I'm expecting to most likely get a bounce there around 200, but once this breaks, my next target is this. Looking at this as a bear flag, right, that we broke down from. You take a measured move of the flagpole, you bring that down to where it broke down, that gets you your 148. Now, if that breaks, we look at the bigger picture, this huge rising channel here, take a measured move of the breakdown, 67,000-ish. Now, if it gets down there and it breaks that, then it could be like FTT. But 67,000 or $67 is where I see this thing most likely headed. Excuse me. As long as I'm correct about the bear market. XRP, as you guys know, I think this thing's just dime penny stock. Hype cycle, hype cycle, hype cycle. We can't even open or close a weekly candle above this white trend line. We got rejected at the same trend line, guys. My targets for XRP are between 4 cents and 25 cents at the end of this bear cycle. All right, this is, and guys, these are old charts, right? I haven't messed with them in a long time, but this is Ethereum, right? If we break this, which we are, we got to bounce right there on that trend line, right where we were looking for. Now, if we break this, the next stop is going to be somewhere down in this area, 1424-ish, somewhere in there, depending on how long it takes. If it takes longer, obviously it goes higher. But this is our next trend line. And if we take a measured move, looking at this as a, should we go from here? Looking at this as a rising wedge, you would bring it down. If we break that 1430, 926 would be your target off of this white trend line, right? 926. And then if that breaks 280, 114, we also have a high volume node down there. But again, I do believe we see at least these lower lows. I'm looking for 1431 next. And again, once this breaks, we may get a bounce here. This is going to take time, guys, but we may get a bounce here. If we get a bounce, then, continuation to the downside once we break this yellow trend line. First, we got to break this one at 17. Currently, it lies right at about 1772. If we break that, we're most likely headed down to these 14,000 or 1,400 levels. Litecoin, we broke our main trend line here at 78.10 that we've been waiting on. It broke. My next target for Litecoin is getting down to here, depending on how soon it does, somewhere between 60 and 61 bucks. May get a bounce in here, may even bounce all the way back up to retest this trend line, but nevertheless, once we break this trend line, I'm looking for between 15 and 25 bucks. I know that sounds crazy, guys, But when I was telling everybody that Bitcoin would go down from 69K to well below 20K, people said 20K would never break. Don't get emotionally attached to this stuff, guys. Right now, if you really think about it, again, make sure you smash those thumbs up. It helps the channel tremendously, and share the video. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think too. But just think about it. The only thing crypto is really good for right now is trading. That's it. Just be careful, guys. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. If I may try to get a video out some point this weekend, but it's going to be super busy, so I highly doubt it. I would appreciate your guys's smashing the likes and leaving your comments down below. Have an awesome weekend, guys. Be safe. Trade safe. I'm out.